Islam Moors, all meetings are to be open and closed promptly according to the Circle 7 in love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. I just, excuse me, want to ask that all who are able to please rise and face the east as we recite the Moorish American prayer, standing facing the east with our heels together, feet at a 45-degree angle, holding up two fingers on the right and five on the left. Please repeat after me. Allah, the Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation by night and by day through his holy prophet, Drew Ali. Amen. Right, Islam Morris. I want to announce that this meeting is now open. This is the Moorish Science Temple of America, Temple 30, Columbus, Ohio. First and foremost, here we always rise, giving the highest of praise to the Most High, our Father, God, Allah. I extend honors also to our divine prophet, Noble Drew Ali, for bringing us our divine creed and nationality so that we may learn to love instead of hate. I extend honors to the forerunner to the prophet, Brother Marcus Mosiah Garvey, for preparing the way for purity and love. And I extend honors to the charter and its 10 wonders. I extend honors also to the first appointed Supreme Grand Sheikh, appointed by Prophet Noble Drew Ali, Brother E. Millie Ill. And I extend honors to all the faithful, all members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Lastly, I extend honors to the Supreme Grand Sheikh, Brother Kenu Bey, and the Supreme Grand Council of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Islam Moors? All right. Brother Jackson Bey, if you are able to, please read our divine constitution and bylaws.
Divine Grand Sheik, I rise, giving all praise to Allah, Prophet Jurali, unto the forefathers and foremothers, the honor to the Ajax, mosques all over the world. Salvation of Allah, unity, the Moorish Science Temple of America, divine constitution and bylaws. Act 1. The Grand Sheik and Chairman of the Moorish Science Temple of America is empowered to make law and enforce law with the assistance of the Prophet and the Grand Body of the Moorish Science Temple of America. The Assistant Grand Sheik is to assist the Grand Sheik in all affairs that he lives pointing to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and it is known before the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Act 2. All means are to be open and closed promptly according to the Circle 7 in love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Friday is our holy day of rest because on a Friday the first man was formed in flesh, and on a Friday the first man departed out of flesh and ascended unto his Father God Allah. For that cause, Friday is a holy day for all Muslims all over the world. Act 3. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice must be proclaimed and practiced by all members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. No member is to put in danger or accuse forcibly his brother or sister on any occasion at all that may harm his brother or sister because Allah is love. Act 4. All members must preserve these holy and divine laws, and all members must obey the laws of the government, because by being a Moorish American, you are part and partial of the government and must live life accordingly. Act 5. This organization of the Moorish Science Temple of America is not to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws and constitution of the said government, but to obey hereby. Act 6. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they are part and partial of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, other folks, black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is the new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Noble Drew Ali, the prophet, to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites who inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become part and partial of all uplifting acts of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Members must pay their dues to keep alive four necessities of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Then you're entitled to the name of faith. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become part of the uplifting of fallen humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds filled, keep their hearts and minds filled with love and their bodies clean before them. This divine covenant from your holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, the guidance of his father, God Allah. Noble Drew Ali, founder, Moorish American prayer. Allah, Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Drew Ali. Amen. The Moorish Science Temple of America, home office, Noble Drew Ali, home office, Chicago, Illinois, USA. Islam, Islam, Islamism. Peace and love.
All right, Islam and gratitude, brother. Brother Kobe, would you please read our writs?
Islam, Grand Sheikh. I rise and give praise to the great God Allah. Rise and give honors to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Rise and give honors to the forerunner Marcus Osiah Garvey, the Harbinger. Rise and give honors to our Ilma Bays. Rise and give honors to our Grand Charter. Rise and give honors to our Grand Body. Rise and give honors to all the Muslims on the call and on the planet. Prophet warns all Muslims to be read in every meeting. I hereby inform all members they must end all radical speeches while at work, in their homes, or on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards to Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your cards for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be a severe consequence. We are for love, truth, peace, freedom. And when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings towards the temple or the prophet, or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement, will receive their rewards from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card and button, cease wearing their turban and fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet Noble Drew Ali. And if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet, therefore, is sending out a divine plea to all Moorish Americans. They do their part in protecting their prophet and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sinful ways. Peace, Noble Drew Ali. To the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America, Islam. This is instructions from your prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Be faithful unto your forefather divine and national creed, that you will be blessed for your good deeds that you sow in the flesh. Allah is the one that judges the world, and his judgment is on now. But the weak can comprehend it not. The end of times are drawing near, so says Allah to his divine prophet, I Noble Drew Ali. And that is why many hearts have turned to stone. Many have eyes to see but cannot see, ears to hear but cannot hear, lest they'll be confounded of their sins. These are the trying hours now, dear Moors, and every evil spirit is moving, and they are trying every weak mind to overthrow and drag out the true foundation that has been laid, and to cause confusion in the minds of the ones that do believe. But if you have the true love of Allah and the spirit of your forefathers, you fear not what you hear or see, but will sacrifice the utmost of your very life to protect your movement and your prophet. Watch your enemies, dear Moors. Your enemies are the ones that speak against your prophet and ridicule him to the very lowest, and the ones that speak against your divine and national principles of your temples. Act accordingly, and Allah will bless you for your good work. Peace, your divine prophet, Noble Drew Ali. To be proclaimed in every meeting, Islam. I am few faithful Moors among you all, and desire for them to know the truth and the divine truth. There's a host of jealousy about me and the movement now by the same people of our side of the nation that claimed that I was a joke and unreal. But now, since they found out from the government officials and the nations of the earth that this is the only sole foundation that all Asiatics must depend upon for their earthly salvation as American citizens, they are working every scheme that they can to disqualify me so they may take charge of the situation. I have notified all these things to you long ago in the past. It is through the faithful Moors that attribute to the movement and uplifting funds. The ones that pay their divine respects to me and the movement will be remembered. That's why I'm calling upon all faithful Moors to increase their faithfulness to me, your prophet, and your divine Moorish movement. I need finance, and I need it badly. Never before have I needed finance so badly as I knew at present, so I can shove aside the discord that is facing the nation. It all comes through jealousy because of my fame and nobility. The nation of the world will not recognize the movement without I, the prophet, being head. It has been proven by my works, which I have performed in the past few years. Prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Islam, Islam, Islamism. Happy Sunday School, Master.
Islam and gratitude, brother. Sister Lachey L, would you please read our additional laws?
Islam. I rise and give all praise to the great Father God Allah. Give honors to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I give honors to Marcus Messiah Garvey, the forerunner to the Prophet. I give honors to all Muslims on the call and all Muslims around the world. Questionnaire and additional laws for the Moorish Americans by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Act 1. Grand sheikhs and governors and heads of all temples, all business. Each said temple must be approved by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Before acted upon by any members, let it be finance, property, or any line of life that will cause the members to sacrifice finance, etc., that will cause the support of any group of members. Any former officer that violates these laws is subject to be removed from his office under a heavy restriction, etc., by the prophet or the grand sheikh. Act 2. All members are to attend their EDUP meetings and their public meetings promptly. If a member is found standing around on the meeting period, shall be fined 50 cents on the first case, and on the second, he will be fined $1, which will go on your emergency fund. If member is working, his monthly dues must be paid, and if he has money in the bank, he must subscribe for as much as he is able to the Moorish Uplifting Funds because it takes finance to uplift the nation. Act 3. It is the lawful and divine duty of every good member, if he is able, in finance to aid me in saving the nation, and if he does not, he is an enemy to the cause of uplifting his own people, and justice must catch you. Let it be he or she according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, as I have the power invested in my hands, and I would have to enforce the law in order to save the nation. Act 4. All members, while up making a public speech, must not use any assertion against the American flag or speak radical against the church or any member of any organized group, because we're to teach love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Act 5. All members must promptly attend their meetings and send their children to Sunday school, and the teacher must confirm himself to the questionnaire. And let every member exercise his 5 senses who is able to do so, because out from your Sunday school comes the guiders of the nation. Act 6. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality, and we're teaching our people their divine creed, that they may know that they are a part and parcel of this said government, and know that they're not Negroes, colored folks, Black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men must now proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Noble Drew Ali, the prophet, to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites who inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become part and a parcel of all uplifting acts of the Moorish Science Temple. Members must pay their dues and keep in mind with all necessities of the Moorish Science Temple. Then you are entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters, father and mother, and be industrious and become part of the uplifting of fallen humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and mind pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from your holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, through the guidance of his Father God, Allah. Islam. Peace and love.
Islam and gratitude, sister. Okay, Morris, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to be in the Koran Questionnaire, the Moorish Science Temple of America. We last left off at question 46. I just want to pick up where we left off. We're just going to go through a couple questions now, but what we always do, we want to gain practical insight from this, right? So that we can apply these keys. Remember, we refer to the questions from the Koran Questionnaire as keys. This is what Moorish Americans call those questions. So there's 101 keys in here. So we want to understand the actual spiritual teaching that's in there and be able to use these keys for our upliftment, right? For our earthly and divine salvation. And so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start off right where we left off at question 46. And, it's good to memorize the questions, but we don't want to just memorize it. We want to actually understand the spiritual meaning behind these teachings, right? So that we can apply them in our lives, because we don't want to be drowning in the cares of the world. That's the whole purpose of this. So on the cover of the Koran Questionnaire, you see the prophet lifting the woman, or lifting fallen humanity, because it says humanity on her thigh, lifting fallen humanity out of the cares of the world. So we want to utilize these keys so that we, as Moorish American Muslims, are not drowning in the cares of the world. We're not supposed to be drowning in the cares of the world. So let's go ahead and get things started. Going into question 46. 46, what did Jesus say would make you free? Truth. 47, what is truth? Truth is ought. Key 48, what is ought? Ought is Allah. Key 49, can truth change? Truth cannot change or pass away. Key 50, what other name do we give to truth? Holy breath. Up, looks like we have an error in there. Let's put that on us. Let's not put that on the prophet. Okay, what other name do we give truth? Holy breath. What have you to say about the holy breath? All we can say is, it is great, it is good, it was, it is, and evermore to be. Amen. Okay. So when it comes to memorizing those questions, work on that. Memorize them. Do that on your own. But when we come together, we want to build on them deeper so that we have insight and understanding. Okay? So I'm not saying don't memorize the questions. Go ahead and do that. But here we want to talk about, so what is question 46 really saying? What did Jesus say that would make you free? And the answer is truth. What is the truth? So the spiritual meaning of this, right? Jesus taught the truth that liberates the soul. What was the truth? So there's a deeper meaning. And it lies in that understanding that the spiritual freedom that comes from knowing and then living in harmony with divine principles. There's freedom that comes with that. So it's the opposite of what we're taught. You're free to do despicable things, right? It's freedom to do, crazy stuff. All right. We're coming into another understanding, a deeper understanding. There's freedom in knowing and living in harmony with divine principles. When we look in the Quran of Mecca, it teaches us that the truth is from our Lord. There's no changing the words of Allah. That aligns with this understanding that the truth is not able to be altered. It's divine. All right. The truth is the eternal reality of being. It's eternal. So when we align our consciousness with divine truth, we're actually breaking free from the illusions of material existence, right? Because this is divine. It's true. It even goes beyond the physical realm. So we're actually freeing ourselves from this, right? By coming into our true nature. And so we want to understand this because these lessons are put together because the prophet deemed this necessary to awaken the spiritual consciousness that exists within all Moorish Americans, right? He wants to remind us of our divine nature. So the answer is truth. That's what makes you free. When Jesus said, you shall know the truth and the truth shall make you free, in John 8, verse 32, he was speaking of this spiritual freedom. That's the type of liberation that's not about physical emancipation, but freedom of the soul from falsehood, freedom from material illusion, freedom from the chains of the lower self desires. right? It's basically like getting off the, the wheel that the gerbil or the hamster's running on, just running on that wheel, but not getting nowhere. We getting off of that, right? So truth is spiritual liberation from a metaphysical perspective. This represents our divine reality that's unchanging because it's rooted in the divine essence of Allah. The Holy Quran of Mecca is always emphasizing that truth comes from Allah and it stands unaltered. So it's not like, oh, that's your truth. This is my truth. This is her truth. Nah, man. That line of thinking comes from the world of deception that we live in. Right. But now we're grounding ourselves in truth. And that ensures us that we're not going to be swayed by all this temporary misleading stuff. And so this is why on the cover of the Koran Questionnaire, okay, with this truth, now we stand on the solid rock of salvation. Now we're not, at the mercy of the cares of the world, drowning in the cares of the world. So in this society that we live in, we're surrounded by misinformation. It's everywhere. Media distorts things, just the culture in general, right? It doesn't promote divine truth. So when we adhere to divine truth, we create a spiritual fortress around our consciousness. You know what a fortress is, right? It protects us. Protection, guidance, and salvation. This is what we're calling on from Allah. So when we adhere to the truth, we create this fortress around our consciousness. Now we can discern. Now we can rise above false influences, all that, right? It's not working. So just in understanding this, the prophet emphasized like understanding and living by divine truth. That's the key to uplifting fallen humanity. Why? Because it purifies us. It purifies our intentions and our actions, right? Nobody can come and mislead you, and you're not going to fall for any tricks or deception. Okay. Moving on. Question 48 now. What is truth? Right? Since Jesus said the truth would make you free, what is truth? And then the answer is so simple. Truth is ought. Right? But what is ought? Ought symbolizes existence and fullness. Right? It's the all-encompassing presence of Allah. So the truth is not, once again, it's not relative. It's not subjective. It's the essence of reality. So for us, at a practical level, we want to recognize that living in truth means acknowledging Allah in all aspects of life. That leads to spiritual clarity and righteous living. That's also why, just at a simple level, why you'll have, when you eat, before you eat, you pray. You recognize, you understand, like you about to take something, something lost its life. Right? Even plants, even eating a plant, still something lost its life for you to sustain yourself. So we're praying, we're recognizing what just happened, right? We're understanding this. And so at a practical level, we want to understand this. We want to, make this a part of our lives, everything that we do, because otherwise, people take everything for granted. They don't even care. All right. And living like that, living out of balance, right? That that throws off everything. Right? It spreads like a disease. But that's just one, way of looking at that. The truth is ought is Allah. Right? That's the very next question. What is ought? Ought is Allah. So ought is the allness of Allah. It's the source and the substance of everything. There's no existence apart from Allah. That's why, when in the church or wherever you're getting taught about God and Satan and all this stuff, and they teach us everything at such an elementary level. But we're given tall tales and stuff that doesn't even really, make sense, because it's like, wait, hold up. If God's the creator and omniscient and omnipresent and all this stuff, so how can he have an enemy? What, he created his own enemy? Like, come on, what? So we understand there's no existence apart from Allah. Everything is within Allah. Even this devil, it's self. It's our own lower self. It's not even really an enemy. It just needs to be subdued and put in its proper place. Right? Everything is a part of Allah. In the Holy Quran of Mecca, right? Allah is described as the one who encompasses all things, right? And that's just reaffirming that same understanding of Allah is the totality of divine existence. It's the allness, everything, right? So when we recognize that aught is Allah, that helps us understand that everything is interconnected. Everything in our life is, that's really our purpose here, understanding our oneness with divine existence. In our Holy Quran, it lets us know that we are bound by all things by cords. We're connected to everything. You can experience this, you can actually experience this in your consciousness when you astral travel, right? You can actually see that cord, that at least the cord that binds you to the earth. You can see it. And I'm just giving that as an example, but I'm just saying, like, these aren't just words, This is very real. It's so real that when you get to experience these other realms, these spiritual things, you realize, whoa, this is realer than just this physical world that we're in right now. It's more dynamic. It's extremely real. So none of these words are to be taken lightly. And that's why we want to go into the questions. We don't want to just memorize question 1, question 2. We don't want to just memorize the questions. We want to know what it's really saying, because nothing's to be overlooked. All right. Nothing's to be taken lightly. If we look at this and actually apply this into our lives, we actually come into who we truly are. So truth is aught and the allness of Allah. And remember, aught means everything, the fullness of existence, the ultimate source of all creation, which is Allah. And that's reinforcing the same concept that everything in the universe is connected and it all arises from the divine. So there's nothing that's not coming from the divine. Even things that are happening, that's out of order, bad things or whatever. This is because we're deciding, okay, I'm going to figure it out from my lower self. And what does the lower self do? What does it breed? Right? Hatred, slander, lewdness, murder, theft, and everything that brings harm. The lower self, the carnal mind is operating from lack. It's operating from limitation, right? Because it is lacking limitation. It will die. It will cease to exist with the physical world, right? So, of course, it's operating from that. So why would we try to figure anything out from our lower self? Why? Right? So everything is interconnected. Everything arises from the divine. And ultimately, we are supposed to come into this realization of who we truly are and begin to transform ourselves so that we, like Jesus, can be an example to the rest of the world. Right? And then we can come and serve our purpose to uplift fallen humanity. All right. So this aught, remember, that eliminates the illusion of separation. It's all an illusion. We're thinking that we're all separate beings and having these different experiences, but actually it's all connected, and it's all been connected the whole time. So this is the true understanding of aught, right? The all-encompassing unity of Allah. The Holy Quran of Mecca refers to Allah as the all-knowing, all-seeing, and the one who is present in all things. So this just reaffirms this truth. And then recognizing that truth now, at a practical level, understanding that everything's connected, the all-encompassing essence of Allah. Now that calls on us to respect and honor all creation and to understand that we are all expressions of this divine source. This is a Moorish American mindset. This leads us to more compassion, have more compassionate way of living, a holistic way of living, and then seeing ourselves and others as reflections of the divine. So we're not up here trying to say, oh, certain people are devils. No, that's stupid. Like, that's a simple way of looking at things. There's nothing outside of creation. There's nothing that's not a part of Allah. So we're not simplifying anything, right? We're getting to a more holistic way of looking at things and understanding the truth. Okay? And remember, the very next question is, can the truth change or pass away? And we know the answer is no. Truth cannot change or pass away. And this is getting back to the real truth, which is eternal. It's immutable. It's not subject to human interpretation. It doesn't have those limitations on it. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali emphasized that divine truth transcends human concepts of right or wrong, and is calling on all Moorish Americans to live by unchanging principles of divine law. So in this world today, where we have all this misinformation, right? Morals and all these things are gone, or disappearing fast. We have to hold fast to the unchangeable truth. We also have to take on that responsibility and understand that if we don't do it, nobody will. No one else is going to come and set things straight. Just the fact that you're here means you're one of the ones that's going to do it. You can't look around and put it on anyone else. You definitely can't put it off on the children, right? They might not even get it straight if they don't see us doing it. So, we're coming in, we're holding fast to this truth. It's unchangeable, right? And understanding that we have to demonstrate it. Nobody else is going to do it. That's our purpose. That's why we're here. And I know we all have our own purpose and stuff like that, but ultimately, right? That's why we're here. So the truth is unchanging. It's eternal. It's immutable. And it's divine laws and principles, right, that are established by Allah. They're not subject to human interpretation. They're not subject to modification. They're constant throughout time and space. It's universal. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali's teachings are reminding us that even though societies evolve and trends change, right, spiritual laws remain constant. So it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. So in the world of constant change, the unchanging nature of truth provides stability. This is why, once again, on the cover of that old booklet, that old booklet on the cover, he's lifting a woman, says humanity on her hip, right? Unconscious humanity out of the cares of the world, right? She's drowning in the cares of the world, lifting you onto the solid rock of salvation. She represents us all. But ultimately, we're to come in and be those angels. We're to come in and take the lessons from the prophet and now do this for ourselves and others by leading the way, being the example. So once it's taught to us, now it's on us to do it, right? We can't just look at us. It's not like what we were given, and I don't want to sound like I'm picking on the church, but not like what we were given. Oh, Jesus died for my sins. Oh, blah, blah, blah. What does that mean? Does that mean you can go out there and be a devil, be a demon? But it's okay. Jesus died for my sins. Like, yeah, right. We have to come in now. We have to be Jesus. We have to set the example. Follow the, example that was set by him and, use that as a blueprint for ourselves. Right. So even though it's constant change, the nature of truth provides stability. It's unchanging. So virtues that we have, like love, justice, right, mercy, these are, eternal. When we align our lives with these principles, we tap into divine order and we experience peace, even amidst chaos. So the waters are the cares of the world, and it's like ocean waters because it's chaotic. And if you're just out there in the cares of the world, you're going to have a chaotic life. And that's why when we're not aligning ourselves with these principles, now we have all this trouble happening. It's always self-caused. We can't blame it on the next person. We can't put it on anyone else. It's always us, right? It's always you. Look in the mirror. You're upset about something that's going on in your life. Look in the mirror. You caused it. And that's always true. We just lose somebody. But it's always the truth. So just coming back in here, question 50. Wait, hold up. Yeah, question. Can truth change? Truth cannot change. Okay, yeah, question 50. What other name do we give to truth? Holy breath. And so the holy breath is another name for truth. And the holy breath is representing the life force or the divine spirit that animates all creation. It's the essence of truth. And that the essence of truth is what sustains and nourishes the soul. So if you're looking at the holy breath from a metaphysical perspective, it's the divine activity of the spirit. That's what empowers, that's what enlightens and gives life. So when we're in harmony with the holy breath, we're in alignment with the truth, right? And that's where we want to be at. So and this is what animates life. This is something that's unseen. It's something that can't even really be explained scientifically. All right. Moving on to the next question. 51. What have you to say about the holy breath? All we can say is it is great, it is good, it was, it is, and evermore to be. Just understanding, once again, it's beyond human comprehension. All we can say is it is good. It was, it is, and evermore to be. We don't really understand it. It's unseen. It's part of the unseen realm. So that statement alone is just acknowledging it's eternal. The divine nature of the holy breath is beyond human comprehension, but it's essential. We don't understand it, but it's essential. It's essential for spiritual life and growth, right? There is no life without it. So on a practical level, once again, this is why we want to meditate and make this a part of our everyday life, and maybe even meditating more than once a day, but meditating on that, right? Quieting our mind. Why do we want to quiet the mind? Why would we want to just maybe focus on our breaths instead of like thinking about things and saying stuff? Why would we want to just, maybe just breathe in 10 seconds, breathe out 10 seconds? Why would we want to do this? Well, when we do that, first off, when we're slowing down our breaths, right, we're beginning to raise our own consciousness because, hey, if you're breathing in, you're able to breathe in 30 seconds and then breathe out 30 seconds. That's one breath a minute. So the slower, the less breaths we're taking per minute, we're actually altering our consciousness, whether we realize it or not. There's a whole science to that. One way of understanding is qigong. There's other names for it, but there's a whole understanding of that. Just slowing our breaths down. So just focusing on the breath. That takes your mind off of all the stuff going on in the day that you would normally be thinking about, right? So we want to quiet our mind, quiet the lower self, say, hey, shut up, chill out, right? And we also want to make that a practice of shutting down the lower self, because the lower self is supposed to be a servant. It's supposed to be a servant. It's not supposed to be the one that's calling the shots, that's running the show. So for most of humanity, it's all lower self. They don't know anything else. The lower self is the one that's calling the shots. It's the one that makes the decisions. And that's why people, of course, have problems. So we also want to create that practice. So just in doing that, just in meditating every day, even just 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, we're making a practice of putting our lower self back in its place. Hey, you listen to me. Shut up. It's quiet time. So we have to do this to the dogs sometimes. Just, they're all animated or excited because we came in. Don't touch them. Don't look at them. You have to tell the children that don't touch them. Don't even look at them. Ignore them. And if they don't chill out, go put them in their place. Just go sit down and shut up. Not being mean, but just look. I know better than you. You are a dog. You need to do what I'm telling you to do. And I don't have to explain to you why. So you got to treat the lower self the same way sometimes. Hey, shut up. It's quiet time. While we quiet our mind down so that we can receive divine inspiration, so that we can align with that which is divine, right? Bringing in the holy breath, connecting to it consciously, right? This reminds us of the greatness and goodness.
Join the meeting.
All right. So, and just, speaking about that too, like with the holy breath, the prophet Noble Drew Ali put these lessons in there to awaken us, right, to our divine heritage. and he wanted to emphasize the importance of living by spiritual principles. So truth and the holy breath are central to achieving spiritual freedom and uplifting humanity. It's essential. There's no way to leave it out, right? We have to do the work on ourselves, because it's not about saying, oh, I'm God. I'm God. No, you lower self. No, you Satan, devil, dragon, and beast. That's why you're drowning in the cares of the world. It's not because this person did this to you. It's not because that person did that to you, because we not victims. If you God, how you going to be a victim? How you going to be God and you? That don't sound right. Something's wrong here, right? If you this great, powerful, spiritual being or whatever, why having problems? Use my language, regular Negro problems. Why are you having those, right? We're supposed to be able to get that stuff under control. This is really what it's about. It's not about. It's harder. Somebody needs to mute their mic. You got that under control? Okay, cool. So this is not about saying I'm this and that, and I'm no, we don't want to talk the talk. We want to walk the walk. All right. So so the truth, the holy breath, is essential to achieving spiritual freedom and uplifting humanity. All right. And then it's important now in 2024, maybe even more important than it was in 1928 when the prophet was bringing this information to our people, because in the society that we live in, there's significant turmoil. You have so much mass confusion. People could drink the water and there wasn't, chemicals in the water. They didn't, the government lets you know, hey, we put fluoride in the water to clean your teeth. What? You put what in the water? And it's just accepted. And we've been so dulled down with it for so long, and we don't even think nothing. We're not like uprising. I'm not saying anybody should be doing that, but we not like that. We don't even care. Oh, yeah, they put it in there for my teeth. Like, we don't fluoride in the water. They do all types of stuff. They put stuff in the air, right? Chemtrails. They put stuff into everything and to keep us, from realizing our true potential. So there's even more stuff going on now that wasn't even an issue in 1928. So now we face all these challenges. So the call to truth is even more relevant now than it was then. So he really was bringing this to us right here and now. And then on top of that, we have all the distractions. Everybody got a screen in their face, right? It might even be hard to get the children to listen and pay attention to what's going on. They're like, oh, I'm about to go look at some games and look at some videos or something, right? It's so easy. Like the sister said, they're overstimulated. So there's all this stuff going on, right? They ain't trying to, unfold Allah, the creator within them. So there's so much stuff going on, man. It's even more important now that we take to this. Okay. This really is for us right here and right now. And so just last couple of few words as we wrap this up, going to this still on question 50 and 51. Just speaking about the holy breath and the truth. The holy breath, remember, is the animating force of life. It's the divine energy that sustains and connects all of creation. Remember, we are all bound to all of creation. We're connected to all of this. It's synonymous with divine truth, and it's emphasizing our spiritual vitality is rooted in Allah, right? From a metaphysical perspective, the holy breath is described as the spirit of God, which moves upon the face of the waters and brings all things into being. Okay, that's the holy breath. That's why God just breathed and, came to life. This is the understanding. It's the spirit of Allah that moves across the waters, brings all things into being. Okay, the holy breath symbolizes the presence of Allah within us. Each breath we take is a reminder of our divine origin and our spiritual purpose. Once again, when we meditating on the holy breath, this is why we want to slow our breaths down. This is why I also shared with everyone the meditation MP3, right? And just, giving it away for free, because like you can actually utilize this to unfold the creator within you. So the whole purpose is realigning ourselves with divine consciousness, strengthen our spiritual awareness, right? So the statement that it was, it is, and evermore to be, just remember, this is emphasizing the holy breath is timeless. Is it able to be fully understood with a human mind? No. So it's just described in these kind of vague terms, but hey, it is, it's evermore and everything to be. It's great. It's good. We know it's good. That's all we can say, right? It's beyond human comprehension. But hey, it animates all living beings, right? That breath will continue to flow through the universe forever. So it's a constant presence in our lives. We want to connect and be consciously connected to us because it's the divine presence in our lives. So when we're out in the world, in the making decisions and doing things, having to work or whatever, we want to be connected to this so that we're not making mistakes. We're not having issues and troubles and things that are avoidable. Right. So on a from a practical perspective, we want to, to realize the importance of doing that work to align with divine truth, right? And we speak on this all the time, but we want to use affirmations, throughout the day because it's so easy to say something ignorant, to say something, mean and nasty. People will do that without even thinking twice. We want to set this, train ourselves, right, with the right kind of words, right? Also, silent meditation. We want to make this a part of our everyday life. And the simplest way is just to get all that other mess, just breathe. Count your breaths, breathe in 10 seconds, breathe out 10 seconds. Do that for a while. You got that down, it's no problem. Hey, take it up a little bit. Breathe in 15 seconds, breathe out 15 seconds. Once you're doing that, you're only taking 2 breaths a minute. And if you can keep going up, get it up to 30 seconds in, 30 seconds out. Just slow your breaths down while you're meditating. Before you know it, you won't even be thinking about other stuff and, oh, I got an itch, I got a scratch and all that mess. You won't even be moving. Before you know it, you'll be meditating for real like you are a Buddhist monk. Just by focusing on your breaths and cutting all the foolishness out, the foolish thoughts.
Islam. First and foremost, I'd like to rise and give Islam. First and foremost, I'd like to rise and give praise to Allah, honors to his prophet, Noble Drew Ali, honors to the forerunner of the prophet, Marcus Mosiah Garvey, honors to the first appointed Supreme Grand Sheikh, our brother Emily Ill, honors to everything, Moorish, honors to all you on the call. I wanted to camel back on what he was just saying about the Buddhist monks. I was just speaking to my sons today about getting their black belts in Taekwondo. It's a requirement for you to be able to sit on your knees in silent meditation for 10 hours in order for you to receive your black belt in Taekwondo. And the demonstration for that is for you to have an empty mind, to be out of the body in meditation, and for you to not feel the discomfort of sitting on your knees for that period of time. Because at that point, you are supposed to be so deep into your meditative state that you no longer feel connected to any of the cares or the worries of the world or what's going on in the body. So the longer that you practice, the more and more that you practice this, the more you'll be able to endure these things and not feel discomfort or pain. And that is the exercise for, I'm using the black belt demonstration as an example, because this is in alignment with the breathing and meditation. The further in thought that you can get, the more you are pulling away from the cares and the worries of the world, and you are tapping in to source. And that is so powerful, because there are demonstrations of monks actually setting themselves on fire and not moving a muscle because they are not feeling the heat. they're not even in the body, but their consciousness is still present over the body, just observing what's happening. Now that's when you become, on that master level. And some people might think that it's crazy or that can't be done. We're not saying that we have to be that extreme with it. This is just an example to let us know that you can detach from the body and from all the cares and worries of the world. Islam. So through meditation, we can pull away from the world and tap in to higher powers, to source, to Allah within, and experience. We can learn. There's something called remote viewing. There's, your psychic abilities will come online. It's limitless opportunities for you to tap into these things. And this is where it starts. It starts with you knowing yourself. It starts with you meditating and practicing, these simple things every day and getting better and better at it until you become a master of yourself. Islam. I yield the floor.
Islam. So yeah, not sharing that like that's a thing to do or anything. Um, just that it is possible, and the only reason it's possible is because you are not the body, you're not the soul, you are spirit and one with Allah, whether you realize it or not. And so it is capable. It is possible to have control over the body, to tell the body to just sit there, you know, while anything's going on and not be disturbed. All right. So that, and that is like wild that that monk would do that to demonstrate what can be done. And of course it was in protest, so it was more than just that, but just speaking on that, briefly. So the lessons that the prophet brought to us are even more important, even though there was a lot going on in the 1920s. I mean, you had the Jim Crow era, right? So there was a lot going on, and our people needed it then, but we need it even more now with all the distractions. The depletion of morals and values. It's even more important today. So, just to end this off with applying these teachings in our daily life, we want to meditate. We want to, meditate on the truth, right? Truth is art. Art is Allah. So we want to spend time each day in silent reflection. If you're not doing this, I'm saying like just keeping it real. What's the point of coming here, right? We're all here to, to be greater, to be even greater. And so I'm really just saying that because like everyone here should be trying to like, starting to meditate, right? At least once a day, and then maybe, 3 times a day, but at least starting off one time a day, meditating like 15 minutes, 10, 15, 20 minutes, spend time each day, silent reflection, contemplating, just the nature of divine truth and really just quieting our mind, right? Focusing on the breaths and just doing this and just in doing this on a regular basis. If you're doing this every day, that's 365 times a year. That's 365 steps you've taken closer to your true nature. So definitely, hey, even just once a day is big, it's powerful, it's huge. So we want to live by our divine principles. Remember, we want to make sure that all our thoughts, deeds, and actions fall within the bounds of righteousness. We have the 5 divine principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. We want our thoughts, deeds, and actions, our words to all fall within those bounds, right? So we want to, to actually live the truth. And we want to stay rooted in that, right? So I think that's, powerful because, as we begin to really embrace those teachings, right? Now we can really begin to uplift fallen humanity, starting with ourselves, because we will be leading by example. Islam Moors. And on that note, I yield the floor. If there's any comments or questions, please feel free to speak. Islam. All right. If there are no questions or comments, we want to announce without further ado, we're going to go into the closing of the meeting.
Islam, I want everybody, all the members, to check your emails for the newsletter that was sent out. Also, we're looking forward to seeing everyone on Sunday, the 24th, at the Reynoldsburg Library for our holiday food giveaway for the community. If you're collecting canned goods and non-perishable items, just bring that. We'll meet up there at 1 o'clock to set up everything, and the giveaway will start around 1:30 to 4 o'clock. Islam?
All right, Islam, if that's all the announcements, we're going to go ahead and close things out. First, we're going to read our divine warning. Don't go anywhere.
A Grand Shikari.
Peace. I think you're muted.
Help me to save my Islam. Oh, nobody was able to hear. I apologize for that. Sorry about that, Morris. Um, yeah, we're not gonna start over though. We're like 2 minutes in. I apologize for that. My people who have fallen from the constitutional laws of the government. I am depending on your support to get them back to the constitutional fold again, that they will learn to love instead of hate, and will live according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, supporting our free national constitution of the United States of America. I love my people, and I desire their unity and mine back to their own free national and divine standard, because day by day they have been violating the national and constitutional laws of their government by claiming names and principles that are unconstitutional. If Italians, Greeks, English, Chinese, Japanese, Turks, and Arabians are forced to proclaim their free national name and religion before the constitutional government of the United States of America it is no more than right that the law should be enforced upon all other American citizens alike. In all other governments, when a man is born and raised there and asks for his national descent name, and if he fails to give it, he is misused, imprisoned, or exiled. Any group of people that fail to answer up to the constitutional standards of law by name and principles, because to be a citizen of any government, you must claim your national descent name, because they place their trust upon issue and names formed by their forefathers. The word Negro deludes in the Latin language to the word nigger, the same as the word colored deludes to anything that is painted, varnished, and dyed. And every nation must bear a national descent name of their forefathers, because honoring thy fathers and thy mothers, your days will be lengthened upon this earth. These names have never been recognized by any true American citizens of this day. Through your free national name, you are known and recognized by all nations of the earth that are recognized by said national government in which they live. The 14th and 15th Amendments brought the North and South in unit, placing the Southerners, who were at that time without power, with the constitutional body of power. And at that time, 1865, the free national constitutional law that was in force since 1774 declared all men equal and free. And if all men are declared by the free national constitution to be free and equal, since that constitution has never been changed, there is no need for the application of the 14th and 15th Amendments for the salvation of our people and citizens. So, there isn't but one supreme issue for my people to use to redeem that which was lost, and that is through the above statements. Then the lion and the lamb can lie down together in yonder hills, and neither will be harmed, because love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice will be reigning in this land. In those days, the United States will be one of the greatest civilized and prosperous governments of the world. But if the above principles are not carried out by the citizens and my people in this government, the worst is yet to come. Because the great God of the universe is not pleased with the works that are being performed in North America by my people, and this great sin must be removed from the land to save it from enormous earthquakes, disease, etc. And I, the prophet, do herein believe that this administration of the government, being more wisely prepared by more genius citizens that believe in their free national constitution and laws, and through the help of such classes of citizens, I, the prophet, truly believe that my people will find the true and divine way of their forefathers and learn to stop serving carnal customs and merely ideas of man that have never done them any good but have always harmed them. So I, the prophet, am hereby calling aloud with the divine plea to all true American citizens to help me to remove this great sin which has been committed and is being practiced by my people in the United States of America, because they know it is not the true and divine way, and without understanding they have fallen from the true light into utter darkness of sin. And there is not a nation on earth today that will recognize them socially, religiously, politically, or economically, etc., in their present condition of their endeavorment in which they themselves try to force upon a civilized world. They will not refrain from their sinful ways of action, and their deeds have brought Jim Crowism, segregation, and everything that brings harm to human beings on earth. And they fought the Southerner for all these great misuses, but I have traveled in the South and have examined conditions there, and it is the works of my people continuously practicing the things which bring dishonor, disgrace, and disrespect to any nation that lives the life. And I am hereby calling on all true American citizens for moral support and finance to help me in my great missionary work to bring my people out of darkness into marvelous light. From the prophet. All right, Islam Moors, once again, apologies for that quiet time. So as we close out, I do want to put the call out there for collections for anyone who would like to assist us in that great work of uplifting fallen humanity. Please send a donation to the temple. It's really easy. Just go to MoorishAmericans.com. MoorishAmericans.com. You can go there and just scroll down to the bottom. Use the donate button on there to send a donation to our temple. Also, for anyone that is interested in joining and proclaiming your nationality, We usually advise people to attend at least 3 meetings or more and talk on the side. But if you're interested, you can use that phone number on the website. Just click the contact button. You can reach out to us, or you can fill out that form on there, the contact form, and we will speak to you later on the side. And then on that note, we are going to go ahead and close things out. All meetings are to be opened and closed promptly according to the Circle 7 in love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. I want to ask everyone who is able to please rise and face the east as we recite the closing prayer. You do not need to repeat after me. So standing and facing the east with our heels together, feet at a 45-degree angle, and then holding up 2 fingers on the right and 5 on the left. Allah, bind our hearts and minds back to our ancient forefathers' divine creed and principles. We ask this in thy holy name and the 7 Elohim. Amen. Islam, peace and love, Moors. This meeting is now adjourned. I want to thank you all for coming. Islam.
Peace.
Islam, peace and love.
Islam, peace and love.
Islam, peace and love.
Islam, peace and love.